From the onset, uniting our people across race, ethnic, gender, and religious divides was paramount in order to effectively champion all the struggle of the oppressed in order to achieve self-determination that will produce a common nationhood. The journey was not easy. It was filled with challenges and pitfalls. The apartheid regime, aided by other right-wing regimes that were erstwhile our colonizers, became more ruthless, brutal, and violent, leading to many of our leaders sentenced to detentions without trial, long imprisonment, bannings, forced exile, disappearances, with some paying the ultimate price of dying. Through all these hardships and challenges, our movement remained strong and united under the able stewardship of Comrade Oliver Tambo. When we finally got unbanned in 1990 at our national conference held at the University of Durban, Westfield, in 1991, Oliver Tambo handed to us a united organization which implored to all of us to take care of it. After 23 years in government, doing our utmost best to make South Africa a better place for all, free, democratic, and a country that Oliver Tambo had sacrificed all his life, comfort, and convenience for. As we move forward, it is clear that the objectives of our formation, as envisaged by our forebears, still remains prevalent, as our country is still confronted by the stark reality of poverty, unemployment, and growing inequality. Notwithstanding all the achievements we've made, the patience of our people is being tested at all times. It is very thin as it becomes blatant here that our 1994 political breakthrough has not tangibly translated into economic freedom. As the leadership and delegates to this 54th conference of the ANC, we must recall that at the heart of the formation of the African National Congress was the strategic objective of achieving national liberation, which amongst other issues will resolve the national question, which is to unite all the oppressed and the marginalized people, who in the main are the black majority, and create a united, democratic, non-racist, non-sexist, and a prosperous society, guaranteeing everyone freedom in all its manifestations. It is against this that we must unequivocally, without fear of any contradiction, assert that we have gathered here having bestowed with the privilege to lead our people at this juncture. In this context, the word privilege should be denoted with an appreciation that the position we occupy in society as a movement is not an entitlement or a divine right, but one that emanates from the will of our people. Because of that will of our people, economic freedom that will guarantee freedom and dignity in its totality rests on the shoulders of the African National Congress as the true hope and carrier of the aspirations of all our people. Put differently, we serve strictly at the will and behest of our people. If we extend the meaning of this phrase to our movement. This means that each and every one of us gathered here in our capacity as delegates, we gather not just as individuals, but as the cadres of the African National Congress, to whom a lot is expected to execute a task of shaping not only the future of our movement, but the future of our country and our continent. Comrades and friends, we cannot be indifferent to the developments of the recent times that befell all liberation movements, especially those in the African continent after independence. Today, for our young people, when they talk of Zambia, when they talk of Kenya, if you tell them that the way liberation movements that liberated those countries, it will be like you're telling a folklore, you're telling a story. All these liberation movements have been wiped off through electoral process, and it cannot be found in any of these countries now. You can only find them in the history books. I'm not here, therefore, to narrate history as if there are issues you are not fully abreast with as comrades. However, the point being made here is due to the importance of that past. Our observation of liberation movements elsewhere on the African continent informs us that after attaining power, some committed a mistake of losing touch with the people. They developed arrogance and suffered sins of incumbents, thereby opening a gap for challenge by newly formed parties against their hegemony in society, which led to their loss of political power. That is a necessary tool for effecting transformation of the state and society. If we do not learn from history, we equally run a similar risk. Simply put, as a liberation movement that led the struggle and attained power and mandate to govern, we are not immune or fully insulated from such unfortunate yet painful risk. Because of the factors I've touched on, interest in what is happening within the African National Congress and the decisions we make in responding to the challenges of the moment will always attract interest from all sectors of society in how we shape the transformation of our state, society, and the economy in the manner that captures or fails to capture the imagination of our future entails or should entail. Similarly, interest in internal issues of the African National Congress will continue to exist for as long as we are in power, not only because of what we do with that power, but because all those who have given their love to this organization, as well as support to our struggle during the dark days of apartheid, expect us to do what is right for our people. All those who still enjoy oppression elsewhere in the world expect the ANC to do what is right. It is thus expected that as we go to the 54th National Conference in 3 weeks' time from now, an expectation is that we will adopt policies that adequately respond to the aspirations of our people. We hear on behalf of our people. We must not forget that responsibility. And that we will elect leadership that is well equipped and has the determination to implement such transformative policies for the benefit of our people. This includes the interest in how we behave during conferences as we debate the challenge we must take over the next 5 years. Let us not be fooled in thinking that this is the only conference about our movement, but it is also of great interest to the broader society, including the opposition parties, the private sector, the international community. So this stage where we are heading to, everyone has glued his or her eyes on that stage. Because of this reality, it is the will and aspirations of all our people that should inspire all of us in our discussions and resolutions we finally reach in the interest of the prosperity of our country and all our fraternal friends who fully understand the prevailing challenges we must contend with going forward. Over the years, we have demonstrated our unparalleled ability to mobilize our society around our core historic missions, values and visions for our country. What enabled us to do this has been the cohesiveness of our movement as a united force for fundamental political, social and economic change. We remain serious with this historic mission of liberating our people, who are Africans in particular, and black people in general, from all forms of bondages, especially political and economic bondages, including the fundamental liberation of women from all forms of oppression, exploitation, especially from gender-based violence, rape, and all forms of exploitation in the workplace, and to fundamentally uplift the quality of all South Africans, especially the poor and the vulnerable. Comrades and friends, history will judge me harshly if I stand before you and pretend that our journey of 105 years in the life of the African National Congress was smooth, no contestation of ideas and divergence of views on the path to be followed at any critical stage of our struggle. Otherwise, the history of our movement will not have been recorded. This historic gathering of the Morogoro Conference, you'll remember that conference and the kind of discussion that took place in that conference. It will not have been recorded the times mutiny in the camps of Umkhonto weSizwe in Angola. It will not have recorded the dark period of necklacing inside the country during mass mobilization. These incidences and echoes exist because of the tests this movement had to go through at all times. At all material times, we did not always see eye to eye about the strategy and tactic which we had to follow towards the attainment of our strategic objectives. There were moments when comrades differed bitterly in terms of the approach and what path to take, but this did not make us enemies. Again, the leadership of O.R. Tambo demonstrated how managing such contestation made our movement a legitimate representative of the aspirations of our people and a capable leader of society. It was the resolve to remain united that made our movement to endure all challenges of all times. The sight of what needed to be achieved kept all of us focused on the ultimate objective and purpose, which was far more important than our individual wishes and any petty differences that will compromise the attainment of such a strategic objective. Our forebears understood that the liberation of our people went beyond individual ambitions, but the quest for the total freedom of the people reigned supreme. Some of our comrades did not get to see the dawn of democracy, but they fought with honor to ensure that the true service to the people was their supreme preoccupation. I want to call on all of us to honor the convictions, the values, and the creed we committed to when we joined this organization, which is to serve not only our own interests, but the will of our people. Differences of opinion will always manifest themselves, however, as an organization, we have a body of knowledge attained over many years of struggle to work together and resolve whatever differences we have in order to achieve unity that will make us a relevant force for transformation of our society towards the attainment of our strategic objective. Comrades and friends, I'm very happy as I stand here before you that as Mpumalanga, we have stayed true to the ideals and objectives of 2017 as the year of unity in honor of our revolutionary icon and champion of a free, democratic, united, non-racist, non-sexist, prosperous South Africa. You are a very good example in the whole country. We have done all we could do to ensure that unity and cohesion within the ranks of the African National Congress is achieved and maintained at all times. For this, I want to take my hat off. I'm taking my hat off to our ANC branches and the entire leadership gathered here for resisting the temptation of perpetuating divisive political slates, but instead opting for a path to unite the African National Congress. We have deliberately campaigned against all forms of factionalism that will lead to divisions within our ranks, thereby undermining our ability to achieve our historic mission. All of this we did not do because of selfish reasons, but because of the realization that even as the elephant can withstand all these challenges, each moment it loses a little part of itself, and inevitable result will be its collapse and inability to rise to its former self. We have never been confused about our responsibility to make the totality of our movement to be strong as an agent of transformation. Our growth in membership demonstrates the confidence the people of our province have in the African National Congress as the true representation of our aspirations. We take pride in that we have managed to grow the membership of our movement and equally managed to prevent a significant electoral decline during the last local government election. And in the process, we have contributed immensely to the national victory of the African National Congress. To ensure our continued hegemony in order to transform our society for the benefit of all our people, we must go into our elective conference with the clear objectives of adopting policies that will take our struggle towards its logical conclusion. Poverty and unemployment remains our biggest challenge. The economic patterns of ownership and means of production remain skewed in favor of the few, while the majority is on the margins of the mainstream economy. Transformation remains slow, both in the economic front and in the workplace. These are challenges that will not resolve themselves without consciously taking it upon ourselves to effect change within the state as a driver of such change. For that, we need to choose amongst us men and women who are capable of effecting change with due consideration of the challenges of our times. The global market forces are largely driven by financial service sector, which will continue to influence how geopolitics is shaped and arranged. This should not deter us from following domestic policy imperatives to respond to our own domestic challenges. We must remain resolute in fighting for our own policy space and implementing radical socio-economic transformation program that responds to our peculiar conditions and reality characterized by underdevelopment, unemployment, poverty, and inequality. Comrades, as we gather to consolidate outcomes from our branches in how they have expressed their leadership choices, we must debate and persuade each other on the correct path dictated by the prevailing conditions and reach concrete outcomes that will enable our movement to reach decisions that are in the best interests of our people. At the national conference, the democratic outcomes as expressed by the delegates should not be acrimonious. We need cadres who are sober and disciplined, capable of engaging in robust debate, to persuade one another, to accept one point of view. The decorum and the integrity of the ANC National Conference must be respected at all times. As I conclude, I want to reiterate that for Mpumalanga, the ANC comes first. And no one individual is bigger than the ANC. No one individual is bigger than the ANC. We must emerge with a stronger and a united ANC, irrespective of the conference outcomes. We should elect a leadership collective, brave enough to make tough decisions to better the lives of our people. For those who manage, who emerge as elected leadership, there should be no adoption of a triumphalist posture at the expense of the broader organizational goals. We cannot afford any further split from our ranks. This is not about individual interests, but about the future of our country and generations to come. We remain the true representatives and aspirations of our people. Let us not forget about those people who came before us, who fought and passed the baton to us. I want to take this opportunity to wish you well on your journey to the 54th National Conference. And I'm assured, and I want to assure the National Chair that we are going to remain a disciplined force from Mpumalanga. If you think of any problems, count us out of those problems. I'm sure what I'm saying, I'm right. The message I'm conveying to the National Chair, I'm sure I'm right. And I'm sure I'm representing you. Amanda! All power. Thank you very much. Thank you. What will happen now? We are going to take a song, a very nice song that will make us stand up and wake up. And after that song, the national chair will come and address you. After that song, the national chair will come and address you. Thank you very much.
Live there from the ANC's in Mpumalanga PGC, which is underway in Nelspruit. We were listening to Chairperson David Mabuza addressing the gathering. He said that uniting members remains paramount to achieving their goals, to having a prosperous ANC. So this is one of two provinces holding their ANC Provincial General Council today. This PGC in particular is being watched closely as Mpumalanga is seen as a kingmaker province for the leadership race for the elective conference. So they'll be consolidating with their branches at this PGC, and then they'll announce their candidate for the upcoming elective conference. So David Mabuza speaking strongly about unity, but he also spoke about what the ANC needs to do to stay relevant and to stay in touch with the needs of its people. He said most liberation movements in Africa are only found in history books. So he said, quote, "We must not lose touch with the people and attain arrogance." So that PGC continues, and we'll keep track of things there. We'll bring you more on this and some of your day's top stories coming up after the break.